Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on when and where you're listening to this. This is Coffee with Kevin. Yes, Coffee with Kevin. I'll take my glasses off because I like to see clearly. Or you can see that there's some magnification going on. I like to see you clear. I can't see you. I'm looking at the camera, but still. Anyway, this is my coffee. This is the original coffee cup I started with, and the pictures of me doing this had this coffee cup, and it was a lot brighter and a lot clearly. I love this coffee cup, though. I love this coffee cup. It is wonderful. Mm. I hope you have some hot coffee, some hot tea, maybe juice, maybe water, but whatever it is to you today. And I'm Kevin Martin. I am a hypnotherapist and a business mindset coach. I'm also an author. I'm also a trainer. I'm also a speaker. I'm speaking right now. See, I can speak. And I do many, many, many things. But it's wonderful to have you here, whether you're listening to it live or later on. It's just wonderful to have you here. Today, today is May 19th, 2026. We're getting close to that middle of the year already. And I hope you're enjoying this year. I hope it's not flying by too fast for you. We talked a lot about that last year, and it's not too bad. I'm making the best of the days I have, and meeting the people I need to meet, and building relationships and enjoying the life I have. And it is a wonderful, wonderful life. So that's what you do to make it the best, and so it doesn't fly by. So it doesn't fly by. Oh, I got someone in the chat already. Let's find out. Oh no. I thought there was someone out there. If there's anyone out there, comment in there on Facebook. I can see your comments live. On the others, I don't see them until a little later. All right. Anyway, on May 19th, guess what? 1962. I know that was a long time ago and probably long before a lot of your births, but maybe not for everyone. 1962. On this day, famous actress and Madonna or whatever, um, Marilyn Monroe. She records this video in her voice singing happy birthday to our president and Jack Kennedy. And yeah, it became famous because she did it in such a sexy way. A happy birthday. I know I sound like an old lady. I don't sound sexy like she did, but she does this on this day, 1962. And it just so happens on this day in 1994, JFK's wife, Jacqueline Kennedy, passed away on this day. A little bit of a coincidence if you look back in the history and the thing about Marilyn Monroe and the president and stuff like that. But yeah, that's basically this day. Now it's a national holiday today, National Visit Your Relatives Day. How's that, huh? If you got a relative you haven't seen in a while, um, visit them. And if you can't visit them, give them a call, maybe a Zoom chat or something like that, or a text at least to say hello. It doesn't have to be a parent or a sibling or children. It can be a cousin too, whatever. But think of someone in your family that you were close with before and reach out. Reach out. I'll call this touch a relative. Touch them in a way of text and phone call, whatever it is. But I picked that day because there are several other days. There's a day has to do with food and a few other things. But I picked that one because I think it's important to keep bonds. To keep bonds. And if there's a relative that you haven't spoken to for a reason for a long time, reconsider it. Why go the rest of your life having broken some bond, some connection to someone you used to get along with a lot? So reconsider that. So today, I don't have the background, but we're still in living your dream life. We're in chapter 9. Chapter 9. Chapter 9 is entitled No Bar Too High. And I love this chapter because originally, when I wrote the first book, Perceive This, it was originally going to be called Is Your Bar Too High? So it was, I talk about perceptions. And when I talk about perceptions, I talk about how we perceive moving forward and what we want to do. And do we raise our bar high enough? A lot of people think about raising it too high. Right? And I thought about a long jump runner, right? And you put that bar a certain height, and then you run and run and run, and you got this post, I don't know the name of it, and then it launches you over the bar. Now, if you put it too high, you just hit the bar. You don't go over the bar, you knock the bar down. But if you put it low, you go well over it, and there's no, I don't know, there's nothing to it. Some of us keep our bar too low because it's just easy to make what get the days to go by, and we can do things. Good morning, Brenda. It's just easy enough to do that and say, "Hey, I hit my goals every day." Keep the bar too low. You know why? It's because they're afraid they're going to hit that bar and knock it down and not get over it, or maybe go under it. They're just afraid of what it's going to do to them if they don't do that. I don't want you to be that kind of person. I want you to be the kind of person that sets it high enough. Whereas, hey, maybe you don't make it, but then you say, okay, why didn't I make it? Is there something I can do to make this goal the next time I try? Or, you know, something that will not break you. I want you to be the kind of person that says, okay, I went for this and it didn't work. Maybe I don't have the right skills. Maybe it's not the kind of goal I want to go for, but not, oh, I couldn't get it. Oh my God, I'm not good enough for this. That's the outcome that a lot of people have. Not most people. A lot of people have if they set their by quote quote to the bar too high. I don't want you to be that kind of person. I want you to be the kind of person that says, okay, I'm going to go for this. This is out of my comfort zone and it's going to stretch me a little. I'm going to go for this. Angel, good morning. Oh, it's good to hear you. I'm not really hearing you, but to see your note. I haven't seen you in a while. Hopefully, I'll get to see you Thursday morning, Angel. All right. So, what I'm talking about is, you know, stretching your limits. Stretching your limits. I'm gonna put the quotes in early instead of at the end today. So let's look at our first quote. The special secret, it seems to me, can be surmised in four C's. They are curiosity, confidence, courage, and constancy. And the greatest of these is confidence. This is Walt Disney talking about success, talking about moving forward, talking about the ability to get your dreams. The greatest of this is confidence. And I love it. I love it. It seems to me that the special secret is summarized in those four C's: curiosity, confidence, courage, and constancy. And the greatest is confidence. So you want to build your confidence. And you don't want to be hanging around with people that are going to bring that confidence down. You want to be hanging around with people. You want people around you that helps build your confidence, as you will do for those people. Next. Oh, I see Walt Disney's name again. Another Walt Disney. When you believe in a thing, I love the way you put it. That's the way I speak. When you believe in a thing, believe in it all the way, implicitly and unquestionably. Walt Disney was a big success. So a lot of us just know him by the theme parks. And when he built the first theme park, a lot of people said, "This is crazy. You can't do this. You can't build something like this." And he did. And he did. It's not just the theme parks, it's the cartoons and everything else. Next quote. Oh, I recognize this author. I am resolute in my belief that there exist no heights beyond our reach. I'm resolute in my belief that there exist no heights beyond our reach. This is just shattering any limiting beliefs. Granted, there are things that physically we can't do. I can't s- I can't just walk off a rooftop and expect I'm going to fly. But maybe I can walk off a rooftop and I will have created something that will help me fly. We wouldn't be flying in jetliners and airplanes and everything else if someone hadn't said, "Hey, I can get off the side of a mountain and not fall to my death." And the very first flights were these hang glider type things, these giant kites. And it dates back as early as I researched them back to the 1700s in Europe. Can you imagine that? Someone jumping off the side of a cliff with the confidence that, hey, they're not going to die because they've got this innovation they created. That's amazing. The thought process went through all that. And then, Wright brothers, of course, with powered flight. Okay. The future bows to visionaries who perceive possibilities before they solidify into certainties. All right. We're talking about visionaries. You think about business, and it doesn't have to be about business. Visionaries come in all sorts of things. Visionaries, if you're an author, if you're a poet, if you're an artist of any sort, if you're an engineer, if you're just thinking about how can I make my relationship better, visionaries come in all of those things. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get back to there it is, my quotes in the last one. Another Kevin Martin quote. Who is this guy? No hurdle is insurmountable. Your path to greatness is clear and it's waiting for your indomitable stride. Okay. Which means basically, yeah, hurdles. Hurdles are there and you got to do work to get over them. All right. When I'm saying nothing's impossible, when I'm saying that, I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying, figure out the work you got to do. Hitting that high bar isn't easy for the jumpers. If they've ran it high enough where it is a stride more than they can usually take. It's not easy. They have to practice. They have to visualize. They have to believe that they can do it. They put in the work. So visionaries just don't think about things and they're done. No, they put in the work too to bring their vision to reality. All right. So this is all about chapter 10 is all about, the setting your expectations higher, right? The power of belief. There's a lot in the power of belief. And I'm going to put my reading glasses back on. There are no heights beyond reach if you know the secret to making dreams come true. We talked about that. The quotes are great. They truly are. World without visionaries. Can you imagine if we didn't have visionaries, where would we be today? All the innovations, all the comforts, all the great things we have, um, we probably wouldn't have most of them. Any things that did work would have been by accident. We would have found by accident, not by visionaries, not by people who believed these things everybody else thought was impossible. All right. Walt Disney's Foundation, the four C's: curiosity, confidence, courage, and constancy. In the book, in the chapter for that, in this chapter, I talk about the fifth C, which is conviction. Because once you have that confidence and the courage You start off with curiosity, of course. You need the conviction to move forward. That's what I love to do is add that conviction allows for the constancy. It's so important. Today, not today, but last week, I think it was the anniversary of Roger Bannister's 4-minute mile. He broke the 4-minute mile in 1954. And up until then, all the athletes thought it was impossible. All the coaches thought it was impossible. But all the doctors and scientists thought it was impossible for the human body to do that. And Roger Bannister thought, I can do this. And he did it. And you know what? After that, before the end of the year, 3 or 4 other people broke that 4-minute mile and broke Roger Bannister's record because now they saw it was possible. Sometimes we need that little push, but when we get that little push, we need to have evidence. That's not really great because we don't go as far as we could if we need to wait till we have evidence. It reminds me of the Apostle Thomas, who all his friends said, "Hey, we saw Jesus. He's alive. We saw him." He says, "I'm not going to believe this at all until I see him and put my fingers in the holes in his hands and his chest." But that's where we get doubting Thomas from, right? You need evidence. An innovator, a true visionary doesn't need the evidence. They have it in their head. Einstein did everything without the modern tools we have for measurements and everything. He did everything in his head. It's just a wonderful thing. All right. We also talk about casting off the shackles. The shackles are those limiting beliefs. I can't do this. I can't do that. I'm too old. I'm too young. I'm not wealthy enough. I don't have the resources. I don't have the physical ability. There's all sorts of I can'ts that we have in the back of our head. There's also I shouldn'ts. I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't be wealthy. Rich people are evil. No, they get there's all sorts of limiting beliefs that we have that hold us back. So I talk about releasing those shackles, and then we can become the people we want to be. And I don't want to say totally limitless, but limitless is a great word because it goes well beyond the lives we might be living today, which are completely limited. So I want to leave you with this. If there's limitations that you're aware of in your life, think of what they are and think of why they might be a limiting belief. I always look at this. Are other people doing these things that I think I can't do? If they can be done by someone else, they can be done by you. Maybe there's a whole lot more work you got to do to get there, but they can be done by you. So start to change that belief and start to move toward. It's all about getting out of your comfort zone. I was just reading one this weekend, and I've actually recommended this to my clients. All right, find one thing you can do out of your comfort zone every day. It doesn't have to be every day, especially if you've got a rigid comfort zone. Maybe once a week. Start that way. One thing you can do that's out of your comfort zone that you don't do, that you haven't done much because it makes you uncomfortable. Whether it's speaking in front of a group, whether it's just speaking your truth. Sometimes we don't want to do that because we're uncomfortable with what we think. We think people are going to look down on us. Get out of your comfort zone and try it. Start removing those shackles of yourself and have a phenomenal, wonderful, incredible week. Not because I said so, because it's in your control and you know it. All right, all. Take care. Bye.